Imagine waking up one morning and finding your entire country on edge, not because of a government warning, not because of any scientific discovery, but because of a single dream. A dream that, over the years, has grown into a viral prophecy, casting a shadow over millions of lives. This is the story of how a manga artist's vision, scribbled decades ago, set off a chain reaction that emptied airports, silenced cities, and left families questioning their future. How did a story from a comic book become a national crisis? And what happens when fear spreads faster than facts? Let's start at the beginning, with the artist herself, Ryo Tatsuki. She isn't a household name outside Japan, but inside her home country, she's become something of a legend. Ryo Tatsuki began her career as a manga artist in the 1990s, known for her unique style and her interest in dreams and the supernatural. In 1999, she published a comic called The Future I Saw. Unlike most manga, this wasn't a fantasy adventure or a love story. It was a collection of her own dreams, dreams that she claimed sometimes predicted the future. At first, it was just another manga on the shelf, a curiosity for those interested in the strange and unexplained. But then, something happened that changed everything. In March 2011, Japan was hit by one of the most devastating natural disasters in its history, a massive earthquake and tsunami that left tens of thousands dead and caused unimaginable destruction. When people looked back at Ryo Tatsuki's manga, they found something chilling. Years before the disaster, she had drawn a scene that looked eerily similar to what had just happened. A massive wave, a devastated coastline, a date that was close enough to make people uneasy. Suddenly, Ryo Tatsuki was no longer just an artist. She was a prophet in the eyes of many. This wasn't the only time her dreams seemed to overlap with reality. Over the years, fans and readers have pointed out other predictions in her books that appeared to come true, at least in part. Some say she foresaw major accidents, political events, and even the rise of certain technologies. Whether these were true predictions or just coincidences, the legend of Ryo Tatsuki grew. People began to take her dreams seriously, watching for any new warnings or signs in her work. Fast forward to 2021, Ryo releases a new edition of The Future I Saw, and in it she describes another dream. This time the vision is even more terrifying. She sees a giant crack opening under the sea between Japan and the Philippines. She sees a tsunami, even bigger than the one in 2011, crashing onto Japan's shores. And she writes down a date, July 5, 2025. That's when the panic truly begins. As the date draws closer, social media explodes. Hashtags trend, videos go viral, and people start to share their fears. Some say they're having nightmares. Others post videos packing emergency bags or even booking flights out of the country. Airlines, usually desperate for customers, suddenly face a wave of cancellations. Hotels in Tokyo and Osaka go half empty. Tour guides stare at empty streets, wondering what happened to their summer crowds. The impact is massive. Tourism, a lifeline for many Japanese cities, takes a nosedive. Bookings from Hong Kong drop by half. Flights from China, Thailand, and Vietnam are slashed, some by more than 80%. Restaurants, souvenir shops, and even theme parks feel the sting. Local businesses, already struggling, now face a new kind of disaster, one born from fear, not from nature. But it's not just about money. Families are torn. Some parents pull their children out of school, just in case. Elderly couples refuse to leave their homes, clinging to hope that the prophecy is wrong. Young people, especially teenagers, swap rumors and scary stories online, fueling the anxiety. Even those who don't believe in the prophecy can't escape the tension. It's everywhere. In the news, on the train, in the silence that falls over dinner tables. Officials try to calm things down. The Japan Meteorological Agency holds press conferences, repeating that there's no scientific way to predict earthquakes or tsunamis with such precision. Seismologists appear on TV, explaining the facts. Local leaders urge everyone to stay calm, to trust science, to remember that dreams are not destiny. But the fear is stubborn. It spreads faster than any official statement, feeding on uncertainty and doubt. Then, as if on cue, a series of small earthquakes rattle the Tokara Islands. Volcanic activity picks up in Kyushu. people start to wonder, is this the beginning? Is the prophecy coming true? Even the skeptics feel a chill. The timing is too close, too strange. But experts insist these are normal geological events for Japan, a country built on the edge of tectonic plates. There's nothing unusual, nothing that points to a mega disaster. Still, the anxiety lingers. In the days leading up to July 5, 2025, Japan holds its breath. Streets are quieter, beaches are emptier. Some people gather in temples to pray. Others scroll through their phones, searching for any sign, any hint that the worst is over. And all the while, the world watches, wondering how a story from a comic book could change the behavior of millions. When the day finally arrives, the tension is almost unbearable. But as the sun rises and sets and nothing happens, relief washes over the country. People laugh, some nervously, some with genuine joy. Life begins to return to normal, but the scars remain. The prophecy may have been just a dream, but its impact was all too real. So, what did Ryo Tatsuki really predict, and what actually happened? Let's break it down. Ryo's most famous prediction was the 2011 tsunami, which many believe she foresaw in her manga years before it happened. That event gave her a reputation as someone whose dreams could come true. But when it comes to her latest prophecy, the July 5, 2025 tsunami, the reality is very different. No giant wave struck Japan. There was no crack in the sea, no destruction, no loss of life. Instead, the only tsunami that hit Japan was an economic one. The fear generated by the prophecy led to a shutdown in tourism, canceled flights, and empty hotels. Businesses lost billions, families lost precious time together, the country lost a sense of security, all because of a story in a comic book. This is the real disaster, the way fear can spread unchecked and cause real harm even when the danger isn't real. It's a reminder of how powerful stories can be and how quickly rumors can become reality if enough people believe them. It's also a lesson in the importance of critical thinking, of checking facts, and of trusting experts over rumors. But there's another side to this story too. For many people, the prophecy was a wake-up call, a chance to think about what really matters, to prepare for emergencies, and to come together as a community. Some used the time to reconnect with family, to check in on neighbors, and to make sure they were ready for anything. In a strange way, the fear brought people closer, even as it kept them apart. So is Ryo Tatsuki a prophet or just a storyteller with a vivid imagination? That's a question only you can answer. What's clear is that her work has had a real impact, shaping the way people think and act even decades after it was first published. Her dreams may not always come true, but they have the power to change the world in unexpected ways. As we look back on the events of July 5, 2025, we see a country that was tested, not by nature but by its own fears. We see a community that struggled to find the truth in a sea of rumors, and a world that watched, fascinated, as a prophecy played out in real time. In the end, the disaster wasn't in the waves or the ground, but in the hearts and minds of the people. What would you do if your city faced a prophecy like this? Would you stay or would you run? Would you trust your neighbors or your own instincts? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more stories that go beyond the crime, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us next time as we uncover the secrets that shape our world. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there.